Something I've been seeing pop up more and more on my Discord in the comment section of my videos is, Yam, I'm starting to get burnt out with motorcycling a little bit. Now look, as someone who's been riding for 10 years now and have done basically motorcycles every single day of my life, I can understand that to an extent. But I do have a very deep passion for motorcycling, and I think I have a couple of remedies. If you are suffering with burnout on your motorcycle, whether you don't want to ride as much or you're just not as interested in motorcycling, or maybe you're starting to feel that maybe it was just a passing fad in your life, in today's video, I'm going to help you think through of how to make motorcycling a lifelong commitment rather than a passing fad and something to get burnt out on. Let's talk about it. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is that motorcycling is a hobby. It's something that you should like doing, and it's something that you should be doing for fun. Now, all hobbies ebb and flow in your life. Now, you might really be into cooking or playing music or making art or woodworking for a very brief period of time. Maybe you start watching a ton of YouTube videos about that topic and you get really into it and you tell everybody you know about how much you love doing this thing and you do it every single day, only for 3 months to go by and then all of a sudden you do it less. I think what you have to allow yourself to do is to let your hobbies ebb and flow. Most motorcyclists have other things that they like to do as well, and you shouldn't make motorcycling your singular #1 focus in your life. I know that it can be pretty hard to hear, especially if you just started riding, you want to tell everybody how exciting it is, you want to talk about your motorcycle all the time, you're watching videos like mine, you're on different Discord communities or forums, you're on Instagram pages, you're making content, like it can become very all-encompassing, but I really think you should try to take a step back and remember that other things exist in your life. Maybe talk more to your friends, maybe go out and do something different, maybe invest time in the other things you like doing. I think if you don't make motorcycling your #1 obsession in life, then you have a better chance of not getting burnt out. The second one is don't force it so much. Riding is meant to be fun. It's meant to be a way for us to experience something different in life, to escape the everyday, to get a little bit of adrenaline, and for my perspective and opinion, it's a way to escape our screen-obsessed life and live a more digital, minimalist life while you're out there operating your machine, being at one with nature and at one with the bike. But it shouldn't be something that you force yourself to do. Some of us ride our motorcycles to commute, yes, so you're technically forcing yourself to ride. You're using your motorcycle as a form of transportation. For the vast majority of people watching this channel, especially in the North American market, motorcycling is a hobby. It's something that's meant to be fun. It's something that's meant to, again, distract you or take away from the everyday minutia and mundane feelings of life. So if you force yourself to do it every day, or you're forcing yourself to get out and ride because, let's say, you spent a lot of money on your motorcycle, you want to use it, you want to feel like, well, I didn't drop $10,000 on this thing just for it to sit in my garage, did I? I'm not a freaking Harley rider, am I? I didn't buy the thing to sit as a garage ornament, right? Right? I gotta use it, I gotta get out there, I gotta ride. Even if it's 38 degrees or 120 degrees, I gotta go out there and make sure I use my motorcycle. But that's the way that you start to incur some burnout, because you feel like you have to use this thing, that you're obligated to use it. And guys, let me tell you, even if your bike sits in the garage for a couple of days, even a couple of weeks, it doesn't make you any less of a rider. It may mean that you just have other things going on and you will eventually get back to it. Don't feel obligated to ride your bike, because that's gonna strain your relationship with riding and with motorcycling, leading to potential burnout. Now, the third one is a super easy and fun way to minimize burnout and to feel fun again with motorcycles, is to just change it up. Try some new routes, try using your motorcycle in new ways, try riding some other different motorcycles, and just explore different avenues inside of motorcycling, because this is a very big, varied, and wide-ranging hobby. There's lots of stuff you can get into just in the discipline of riding a motorcycle. You could start going on track. You could try a multi-day trip on your motorcycle. You could try riding off-road. You could try wrenching on your bike. You could maybe get a mini moto and start goofing around with that. Now, I don't want to say that the only way to avoid burnout is by consuming or doing or purchasing more things for the hobby. There's certainly free and cheap ways to do that. Like I said, just try riding a different route. You'd be amazed what you could find if you just go ride somewhere brand new and try something different with your machine. That's a very easy way to avoid burnout. Another point is to get more social. If you involve more people in the thing that you're doing, you have a less chance of getting burnt out or feeling like you don't want to do it anymore. If you have other people in your life supporting your riding and talking about motorcycles with you, you have a way better chance of continuing with it long term and not having it be just a passing fad that you were into for a couple of years when you were younger. I really want everybody watching this channel to become a lifelong motorcyclist. Again, even if you don't ride every single day of the week, even if you have a bike and you ride it a couple times a year, I think having a bike and being a rider is so much more than riding every single day. It's about cultivating your knowledge of the sport. It's about cultivating your own abilities, progressing in the way that you see fit, because that's one of the best things that motorcycling can do for you, is allowing you to build your skill sets and get really deep on a topic. So again, motorcycling has a lot to offer. You can go really deep on a bunch of different stuff. The sweepstakes for the Ninja 500 is almost over. At the end of November, your chances to win this bike will be gone. Head over to the website, become a member on yammynoob.co to get your best chances to win this Ninja 500. I've given away over 54 motorcycles on my time here on YouTube, so I think I know what I'm doing. Head to the website, don't miss your chance to win. This one is gonna be gone before you know it. But all that being said, I'm a big advocate of using the bike you have. A big way to reduce burnout is to not stress so much about the motorcycle you currently own. I see this a lot with entry and intermediate level riders where they're constantly thinking about what's gonna be the next thing, what's gonna be the next bike I get, what's gonna be the next big move I make. And sometimes you don't have to make a move. You could simply own a motorcycle you really enjoy, ride it the way you wanna ride it, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's no reason to try to keep ascending some imaginary power progression ladder and turning motorcycling into a consumption community. I really would prefer to see you guys use the bike you got, do fun stuff with it, goof around with it, do it in a low stakes, cheapo kind of way, because that's really where the fun lies in life, and involve other people in it and make some memories. Buying stuff is not making memories. You guys have probably noticed I'm pretty anti-consumerist and borderline anti-capitalist when it comes to a lot of the stuff here on the channel. I really don't think you need the latest and greatest tech. I really don't think you need the latest and greatest motorcycle to enjoy what motorcycling has to offer. Many times I think that you could spend 2,500 bucks, get some random bike off of Craigslist and just start having fun right now, because making those memories and involving people and doing stuff with your life is way better than just constantly stressing by yourself about the next purchase you're going to make. Don't turn motorcycling into a stress-filled activity where you're constantly researching the next bike you're gonna get or thinking about the next mod you're gonna do. The best way for you to do this is to just have the bike you have, enjoy it, and just love it for what it is. And then, if you really feel like you need something different to accomplish a different task, then you could think about getting a different bike. But otherwise, it's just not really worth it. And following up on that train where I mentioned that you don't want to spend too much time alone and by yourself and researching about this topic and hobby, a really great way to reduce burnout is to not consume so much motorcycle content online. I know that sounds hypocritical because I literally make the motorcycle content online, but I really think that it should be a jumping off point for you to get started with something, and then you shouldn't really watch much of it anyways. To be honest, if this wasn't my job, I probably wouldn't watch that much motorcycling content in the first place. I only do it because I try to keep up on trends and what's going on in my industry, because this is my work. But for those of you who have the privilege of having motorcycling just be something fun that you do on the side, which I kind of wish that was me some days, don't overconsume stuff online, because people specifically make stuff that's designed to get you to feel like you gotta buy the next big thing, or that your bike isn't good enough, or you gotta do this, or you gotta do that. I really think that you should just focus on your ride, focus on yourself, and the less time you spend in front of your computer or your smartphone, probably the better off you're gonna be, if we're being completely honest. I guess this is the part where I tell you to keep watching Yammy Noob, but I don't really know if I can say that without sounding like a giant hypocrite, but hopefully you guys took something away from this video of how to reduce some of the burnout you have online. and reduce some of the feelings you might have around motorcycling kind of getting boring or getting stale. Again, I would really love if all of you out there became lifelong motorcyclists and enjoyed this hobby and enjoyed this lifestyle, because I really do think it has something to offer for everybody. You can grow a new skill set, meet new people, do something fun and exciting, and that's really what life is about. It's about living it, you know? So hopefully you got something out of this video, and thank you so much for watching today's episode. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Go out there and ride your bike today. See you later. All right, guys, our time on this video has come to a close, but if you want to keep the conversation going, head over to YamiNu.co and become a member. I can talk to you on the Discord server. It's a lot of fun. You get access to behind the scenes content, and best of all, entries to win the giveaway bikes, like this one right here. It's coming to a close, so while you're waiting on that next video to queue up on your feed, make sure you become a member on YamiNu.co, and that way you get entered to win this bike, and the next bike, and the next bike, because 2025 is going to be crazy. There's going to be so many bikes coming and going. It's just nuts.